If you're looking to buy an electric vehicle, there's a bunch of different aspects you're looking at and how it's going to change your life, especially the upfront costs that you're going to have to pay when you buy this electric vehicle. Now, I will admit a lot of electric vehicles tend to be higher than their gas counterparts, but that's changing over a period of time. But the thing to look at is how you're going to save money in the long term. Now, gasoline versus electricity, electricity tends to be 10 times cheaper. But the thing I want to talk about today is the maintenance and the schedules and the costs. So this is a really big difference. Ask yourself the question when you're buying an electric vehicle, are you intending to keep this thing for 4 years or 10 years? What is your intention with this vehicle? If you're the type of person that wants to change out your vehicle every 4 years, you're not going to have as big savings as when you're buying a gasoline vehicle. The technology is going to change, sure. You're going to get more value out of it. You're going to enjoy it a lot more having that new vehicle. But for your gasoline car, you're going to have a cheaper cost. So keep that in mind. Now, after 4 years, after you're out of your warranty period, you're going to see some big ticket items come up with your gas cars. Now, it doesn't happen to all gas cars, but a lot of gas cars have a very long series of things that can go wrong with them because of that gas engine. Now, for example, you're going to have timing belts, fuel injections, spark plugs, water pumps, belts, alternators, starters, catalytic converters, mufflers, engine mounts, oxygen sensors, head gaskets. All this stuff exists on your gas engine, but not in your electric, so you wouldn't have that cost. A lot of these things can cost you a couple $1,000s to fix. Keep that in mind over that long period of time. If you're going to keep your car longer than your warranty period, this is really where it's going to make a lot more sense to have an electric version of the vehicle instead of a gas. So maintenance schedule, though, that's another interesting thing to talk about. With your gasoline car, you come in every 3 to 6 months to do an oil change, for example. They might charge you a couple $100 for that, as long as they're doing a good job and checking your entire vehicle for other issues that might come up. Every year, you're going to come in and they're going to look at doing a tire rotation. They're going to check your brakes, of course, make sure everything's good. That might cost you another 100 or $200. And then every 2 to 4 years, you're going to have to change your brake fluid. Your brakes will probably have to be changed by then. That'll be $1,000 right there. Fuel filters, air filters, your alignment. This is a more expensive one. It can cost $1,000 or $2,000 every 2 to 4 years, in addition to all those other maintenance that you have to get done up to that point as well. But when it comes to your electric vehicle, this is where things come quite different. So a lot of electric vehicles have a scheduled maintenance plan of anywhere between 1 and 4 years, as opposed to every 3 to 6 months. So it's quite different. Now, finding exact numbers on your particular vehicle tends to be very difficult. I'll give you some examples of the electric vehicles that I could find, but really at the end of the day, you have to look at the book that comes with your vehicle, which will tell you hopefully in there, or your dealership. And you're going to see some quite big differences here. For example, your Nissan Leaf, your Kona EV, your Ioniq, your Bolt, these are all 1-year maintenances. But then you can get up to, say, 2 or 3 years, like the Taycan's 30,000 kilometers, I-Pace is 34,000, the BMW i3 is 48,000 kilometers. That's like every 4 years. So doesn't that show you the quality difference in between the two vehicles? They believe that they really only need to look at your vehicle every couple years, as opposed to every 3 to 6 months. So the amount of stuff that's going to break is quite a bit different. When you bring your electric vehicle into the mechanic, they don't really have much to do. Mechanics work visually. So they're going to look at a problem. If you say your squeaky brakes, they're going to take your tires off and take a look at that. And they'll be able to see visually something, or they'll be able to repair it in some manner. With electric vehicles, since you don't have a lot of the same components, a lot of them are self-contained, they don't really break. They don't wear out the same way. So your mechanic basically puts it up on the hoist, looks underneath, checks out your suspension, your brakes, looks at your tires, wipes down the car, kicks you out the door and says, give me a couple $100, have a nice day. On your gas car, there's a lot more things that can go wrong with it. There's a lot of belts and hoses they have to check every single time, and those things like to leak and break and snap. So you're definitely going to save money on the long term with an electric vehicle. Just ask yourself how long you want to keep the vehicle for to really come to grips with how much money you're going to save. But if you're there just to enjoy the vehicle, just enjoy the vehicle. Don't worry about anything else. I'll see you guys now in the next video on My Plug Life.